Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The whole process of returning to God entails cleansing of the self. As we stated, that he who purifies the soul has indeed become successful or been successful. Now, when we look at our lives, we see that we are continuing in a very pretentious manner. It's not the real self, it's a conditioned self that is responding to situations, and the conditioned self is constantly sustaining itself and perpetuating itself. This is the damnation that the Quran talks about. Cleansing of the soul requires understanding at what position the soul is and what defects the soul has, and then to address those defects. And for that purpose, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has engineered our lives in a way that every moment is there to open us to ourselves. All the challenges that we are facing in life is only for us to reveal ourselves. What are we from within ourselves? The relationships that we have in this world of ours, our parents, our spouses, our children, familial relations and friend circles, and those people who we consider to be our enemies, they are all there with a specific purpose to challenge us in a particular way for us to reveal our true nature. And once we reveal that true nature, for us to then understand that those people who have evoked those emotions or those reactions that are very revealing of our true nature have been sent as a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you look at the people that we call our enemies, you will see that each one of them has prompted something within, something that has felt uncomfortable, and we have reacted adversely, either in the form of words and deeds or inside ourselves. Now that is a moment that is to be considered as a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In my own personal experiences, all the people that have been antagonistic to me, I only realized after many, many years that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had sent them as a gift and as a blessing to me in order for them to help me uncover my own true nature. Previously, there were things that I frowned upon and I judged people. But when I faced my own challenges, I realized that everything that I frown upon within others is there within my own self. You are confronted with your true nature that no, I am the one who is jealous and I have jealousy within me. I am infected with pride. I am the one who's malicious and I will wish ill for others and their destruction. All of these enemies who were there that I thought were evil people and they deserved to be condemned were actually gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after many years, you actually end up thanking them and thanking Allah for them, that they were just performing a role of opening me to my own self. In this way, we need to understand that the creatures around us, in addition to being the family of God, are there to perform a very fundamental role in our lives to open us to ourselves and to thank Allah for them and to appreciate them. Now let us develop this slightly. Within our intimate relations, we might find that we end up with people who are irritating, and they may be in the form of our parents or children or spouses. And that requires a lot of tolerance. But that tolerance that we practice, it actually expands us from within and expands the light of God. So as opposed to frowning, complaining, cursing, swearing, running to the Molanas to get some spiritual medication, so on and so forth, maybe we need to stand back and say, I am in this situation for a good reason. Can I bear it? If yes, then I need to bear it. Can I bring the best out in the situation in the sense that not be so irritated? Can I modify my attitude somewhat in thinking that this is deliberately been planned? That person is acting out a role. That role is designed specifically to trigger me. Can I now be a person who is bigger than the situation, that not be triggered? Can I tolerate this and still be big enough and grow to absorb this? If the answer is yes, then in that case, we are growing through that relationship. And then if we can turn tolerance into acceptance, and acceptance into gratitude, to say, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have given this opportunity to me through a very close relation of mine. That challenges me. I have learned tolerance. Beyond tolerance, I've learned acceptance, that they are supposed to be like that. Beyond acceptance, I've learned gratitude, that I thank you for them and I thank them. And then if we can go one step beyond gratitude, then we can become an instrument for that person to transform within themselves. So as opposed to seeing it so negatively, that they are bad people and they're crushing us totally, for us to instead see it positively and grow through it, and at some point begin to help them in their own journey. Similarly, our children, often they bring about that state of inner insecurity. What will happen to them? Will they suffer? Will they become ill? That then brings that true nature out, that we are very insecure people. We are very much beholden to the well-being of our children and their life and their happiness. That is an insecurity deep within us. It's a fear. It often makes us superstitious. We start bargaining with God. As opposed to doing that, we need to recognize that there is deep-seated fear in there, insecurity in there, and to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, oh Allah, they are your gifts. Before they became mine, they were yours. Whilst they are mine, they are yours. And after they cease to be mine, when I breathe my last, they will still be yours. They are yours primarily. You have given them to me as a gift for me to recognize myself. Oh Allah, you know how I'm being challenged from within. Take this challenge away and bring in that state of wholesome acceptance of your decree, and you look after them. If as a parent, I'm challenged so severely, then you are the parent of all parents. Allow me to understand that you only want that which is best for them, and then to overcome this inner challenge. There is one more thing that we need to understand, and that is our attitude towards the creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our interactions with them are determined by our attitudes towards them. Now, I've often noticed that when we go to a physician, when we are sick and unwell, and the physician, let's say, diagnoses us and then prescribes medication, and we regain our health, we feel indebted to the physician and we thank the physician. But when it comes to our servants, now obviously in this region of the world we don't have servants, but in other areas we do have servants, and we see that we treat them as our subordinates, as people who owe that work to us, and we are stern with them and we are strict. Now analyze this. The physician is getting paid for their service. The servant is getting paid for their service. As we thank the physician, we should be thanking our servants as well. That is a challenge as well, that how we are interacting with people. One we see as worthless, and the other we see as a superior, because one restores our health and the other one works for us. The person who sweeps the street has no value in our mind. But a person who makes it as the Prime Minister or the President of the country, we feel a sense of inferiority towards them. But both of them are being paid to do their jobs. And both of them are equally doing a favor upon us. So that reveals to us our inner nature, that we are very arrogant people. And we are surrendered to authority, worldly authority that is above us. But the true essence of that person has not mattered to us. And that is our true nature. If we can ill-treat our servants, it says a lot about us and about the ugliness which is within the soul. Surely we should be thanking our servants, our drivers, about thanking the people who sweep the street. Thank them, shake their hands and say thank you very much. The people who serve us at the supermarkets, the people who stack the shelves, the people who come and take our dustbins away. They are all performing their services that keep us going. They're all getting paid for it. All of them are equal in that sense in terms of their statuses. So we should then respect them in terms of their spiritual status as well, that they're all having a favor upon us. So I have seen that our interactions with people reveal to us our true inner nature. Now, if you look at the Blessed Prophet, a man came to the Prophet from afar. The Prophet saw the palm of his hands, and they were rough and blistered and cut. The Prophet shed tears, and he kissed that man's hands. And he said, Allah will never burn the hands that have been working away tirelessly to earn their halal living. That man was a farmer. And then we hear about the family of the Prophet and the way they would treat their servants. They would thank them. One day they would say, you rest and we will do the work. So these are phenomenal examples for us to learn through. However, the central point here is that the people in our lives, our relations and our interactions with people are all there to reveal to us our inner nature. We need to become mindful and present as to how we are interacting. And that then reveals to us what we are from within ourselves. I would like to end with that particular story from Rumi, in which he states about the shaitan. He says, when people blame the shaitan will say, don't blame me, as is there in the verse of the Quran, Surah Ibrahim. I merely came to reveal to you your true nature. If you find ugliness in me, that's the ugliness that is in you. I've just evoked it and caused its emergence so you can see it. And beyond that, it's a favor I'm doing to you so that you can rectify it. Then Rumi gives an analogy. He states that when a dog and a sheep mate and an offspring results, if you want to know the true nature of the offspring, place before it herbs and bones. If it rushes to the herbs, it's a sheep. If it rushes to the bones, it's a dog. The role of the shaitan is simply this, to clarify for us our own true nature. And this is the reality in terms of our relationships within this world. Every one of them is there to reveal to us our nature so that we can rectify it. In this month of Ramadan, the best thing to do is to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity of life and those people that He has brought within our lives. Be they our family, our friends, or those that we consider our enemies. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.